You meet someone, and within 72 hours, your entire emotional world has shifted around them. You're already daydreaming about the future, already protective of something that barely exists, already afraid of losing someone you just found. And some part of you knows this is too fast, but you can't pump the brakes. The feeling is too loud. Here's what I need you to understand right now. This is not a love story. This is a psychological pattern, and it has been running your life far longer than any relationship you've ever been in. Stay with me, because what comes next is going to explain everything. When you fall hard and fast, your brain enters a state that neuroscientists describe as chemically indistinguishable from addiction. Dopamine spikes, oxytocin floods your system. Your threat detection center, the amygdala, actually shrinks its activity, which is why you stop seeing red flags. You are neurologically impaired. But here is the critical question. Why does this hit some people harder than others? Because falling fast is not random. It is a learned response, built from years of emotional experience, often dating back to moments you've long since buried. Your nervous system didn't arrive here by accident. It was trained. Attachment researchers have spent decades studying this exact phenomenon. If you grew up in an environment where love felt unpredictable, where affection arrived suddenly and disappeared without explanation, your developing brain learned something dangerous. Calm means distance, but intensity means connection. So now, as a full-grown adult, when someone comes in fast with attention, warmth, or even chaos, your nervous system doesn't send a warning signal, it sends a welcome home signal. There's also something called the fantasy bond. Psychologist Dr. Robert Firestone identified this pattern, where a person doesn't fall for the real individual in front of them, but for the version their imagination has constructed. You are in love with a feeling, not a person. And the moment reality arrives, the whole architecture collapses. This is why the heartbreak from short relationships can feel disproportionately devastating. Because what you lost wasn't just them, you lost the story you were already living inside your own head. Psychology has identified clear patterns in the people most prone to this cycle. The anxious attacher moves fast because deep down they believe they are one moment away from being abandoned. Loving hard, fast, and completely feels like a way to secure what they fear losing. The emotional rescuer is drawn to intensity because they've learned to confuse emotional urgency with romantic depth. They don't fall for the person, they fall for the need. The romantic idealist operates on narrative. Every moment needs to feel cinematic, and diving in fast creates that feeling before the story has a chance to get complicated. If you see yourself in any of these, that recognition alone is more powerful than you know. The answer is not to stop feeling deeply. That's not the goal. The goal is to put a pause, not a wall, between the feeling and the full commitment. When you feel that familiar rush pulling you forward, ask yourself one question. Am I responding to who they are or to how they make me feel? Those are two completely different things. Start building what psychologists call earned security. This means developing a relationship with your own emotional state through therapy, through honest self-reflection, through practicing the discomfort of not knowing everything yet. You don't need to love less. You need to love from a steadier ground. Falling fast doesn't make you broken. It makes you someone with a wound that has been quietly steering the wheel. Now you see it, and that changes everything. If this resonated, share it with someone who needs to hear it. I'll see you in the next one.